Right, before we get started, we are mixing it up. Last time we had a couple of sequels in a row, it was those baseball games, and I was only like 2 of them. But here we got 3 Maddens in a row, one after the other. So we're going to do them all together in what I'm calling the John Madden Mega Drive Mega Mix.
Now, the easy way to exercise on a Sunday, settle back and watch American football.
Alright, that's enough of that. Let's get on with the first game. Here we go. It's the game that turned EA into EA Sports. The massive success that made Sega's 16-bit machine a viable contender to Nintendo's dominance in the West. John Madden Football. Now, there are very few games that you can point to as being the right game released at the right time. Doom is one, Half-Life 2 another. But Madden is right up there. Released early in life of the Genesis, it sold huge numbers and put the machine on the front foot ahead of the release of the SNES in 1991. And also, it was a great time for it to land in Europe, as we were still in the boom time for this sport in the UK. Channel 4 began showing the sport when it launched in 1982. And then as the decade wore on and football in England descended into hooliganism, US football grew rapidly. I mean, my dad, from Widnes, was a Green Bay Packers fan. I had an NFL bedspread. Even Supergram played the sport. So a video game was sure to do well in that environment, which it did. And you know what? The game is good. You select your plays, which sounds a bit difficult, but you can see it at the top and it's all fine. This will soon descend into chaos anyway, because once the ball is in play, you forget what all the arrows are pointing to begin with. Despite that, it still remains fun to play, which Jazz Review confirms. A 92% overall, 93% playability. It does play well. I mean, look, despite not having played it for literal years, I managed to pull off one of the most insane plays I've ever done. Look at this. Faked out like I was going to go for a punt. Managed to get to like the 3-yard line. Oh, yes. So yeah, we can definitely agree with this one. Next. And it's pretty much the same again if we're honest. Although Big John Madden gets a whole spiel at the start of the game, which... Wait a second, is he saying Genesis? It says Genesis game. Am I playing the US wrong? Definitely says Europe. Oh, it's definitely the right ROM. Yeah, Europe. USA Europe, so it's the same... They wouldn't just left it as Genesis, would they? That would be on the original cart as well, then. Right, it's on the Mega Drive. Let's look along here.
What's it called?
John Madden 92. There it is. Alright, let's get this checked when we get home. Right, so we're home. But I did notice on the cartridge. There you go, Sega Genesis system. On the back. You can see that, but it's copyright Sega Genesis as well. There it is. But this is, I think this is the English cart, because looking at it, like, all the English scans look like this. So, if this is a UK cart, and this is a UK Mega Drive 2, then this should work. Like, I guess if it's American, then it wouldn't play, but then we'll see. Okay, so we've got this far. This is good. Electronic Arts. Licensed by Sega. Here we go. Say I didn't. Genesis. You say Genesis game, but it's the UK one. It's a Mega Drive. Right. Okay. I did have the box, but this has to be a UK cart. They didn't do this for all the EA games, did they? Are they all the same like this? They all just like threw across the US cart, and I just didn't know the entire time. Okay, right. Got my other EA game. So Mega Drive, definitely from the UK. Manual. What do you say on there? You say Sega Genesis. How come I've never noticed this before in my entire life? NHL. Mega Drive. Mega Drive. We'll play it on the Sega Mega Drive. Look, it says this. Sega Mega Drive. What do you say on there? It says Genesis. It says Genesis. It says Sega Europe. Oh, that's pretty hard to read. Oh, it says Germany. Hang on. License for play. Sega Genesis system. It says it again. These are just absolute crimes. It's not called the Genesis. It's called the Mega Drive. Why did I not know about this? Why is my childhood and teenage years a lie? Huh? EA? Of all the crimes EA have committed, this is probably the greatest video game crime of all time. Mega Drive in the box. Goddamn Genesis on the cart. Nobody calls it Genesis. Genesis. And yeah. You can clearly see when the cart is in the glass that the sticker said Genesis, and I just completely missed that. I mean, even the Lotus 2 cart next to it, another EA game, a game from the UK-based Gremlin Graphics, that says Genesis on it as well. I have literally no words, which is a lie. We're going to say some more now. We're at the start of yearly instalments, which means that the game looks the same, but we have a few tweaks like instant replays and the like. We still don't yet have the proper names of players or teams yet, but just calm down, it's fine, it still plays alright. The review here is a little short, but ends up noting that it's an improvement on the first game. 95% overall, with all the other scores a bit higher as well. And that makes sense, this was a refinement to what we had last year. Spit and polish on something that was already good. And look, we had fun with it at the time, even if we barely knew how to play the game. The NFL was starting its downswing in the UK by this point, so this game probably wasn't as big as the first game when it came out. But it's it's still fun. And look! I score a touchdown for the first time I can remember. Well done me! It's pretty much the same game again. We have a coin toss this time. And the play screen's a bit different with top of the bottom, but yeah, we're iterating at this point. The only real jump will be when it goes to 3D later in the 90s.
You'll remember that number.
And yes, still no proper team or player names yet. No clue why you need to keep harping on about it. They'll arrive next year, okay? Just play the game. It's still as good as it was. And that's the problem raised in the review. Jazz notes he's underwhelmed with a few improvements made in this game. Recommends saving your money by renting the 92 version instead. This is reflected in the scores with an overall 89%. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a good score, but it's not 95% like we had last year. But, that's it now. There's no stopping this boulder rolling down the hill. We've had a Madden every year from then until now, and probably will do as long as there's electricity to power video games consoles. I mean, what can you say to that apart from God bless America?